If you have watched my video called Retaining Formulas from Units, you probably remember this problem in which the time is asked in minutes, but the rate is given as kilometers per hour. Now, generally, when you solve a problem with multiple different units of the same quantity, you keep your units consistent, meaning either you convert both into minutes or both into hours, whichever is easier. But in this particular problem, the time is asked in minutes, so it makes sense for us to convert kilometers per hour into kilometers per minute. Now, I generally teach two different methods to convert from one unit to another. The first one, and my favorite one, is called the conversion factor method. Now, to apply this method, you will need to memorize some of the keywords and their values. For example, kilo means 1000 times, milli means 1000th, and centi means 100th. Now, there are also fancy names for 10 times and 100 times. For example, 10 meters is called decameter and 100 meters it's called hectometer, but you don't have to worry about them for the GMAT and GRE exams. Now, once you have memorized these roots, you'll be able to know the conversion factor from one unit to another. For example, 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters, 1 millimeter is 1000th of a meter, and similarly 1 centimeter is 100th of a meter. And from these two conversions, you can probably tell that 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters, and so on. Now, when you convert from one unit to another using the conversion factor, you'll need to multiply or divide by that conversion factor. More specifically, if you go from a large unit to a small unit, you will need to multiply. Think about it. If you convert from a large unit to a smaller unit, you will get more of those smaller units. So multiplying by the conversion factor will give you more of those units. And similarly, if you go from a small unit to a large unit, you will need to divide. Because if you convert from a small to a large unit, you'll get fewer of those units. For example, if you convert from feet to inches, you'll get more inches. When you convert from inches to feet, you will get fewer feet. Let's do a problem now. Convert 72 seconds into hours. As you know, we are converting from a smaller unit to a larger unit, so we'll need to divide by the conversion factor. Now you can either directly convert from seconds to hours, or you can convert from seconds to minutes and then from minutes to hours. I think the latter is easier. The conversion factor for seconds to minutes is 1/60th, because from minutes to seconds is 60 times. So divide 72 by 60, you'll get the number of minutes. When you don't have a calculator, don't bother to do the math quite yet. Then divide 72 over 60 by another 60 and you'll get the number of hours. Finally, you can reduce. 6 goes into 60 10 times, 6 goes into 72 12 times, 6 goes into 60 10 times and 2 times. That gives you 2 out of 100 or 0.02. And if you want to express this in terms of fractions, it's 1 out of 50 or 1/50th of an hour. The second method is called the proportion method. To use this method, you'll still need to know the conversion factor, but instead of multiplying and dividing, you'll use the conversion to set up a proportion and solve for the unknown. Now let's do the same problem using this method. Let's convert seconds to hours first. We know that 1 minute is equivalent to 60 seconds. So if 1 minute is to 60 seconds, how many minutes is equivalent to 72 seconds? Solving for x will give you the answer to that. Now cross multiply and use simple algebra to get the value of x and reduce to get 6/5. You don't have to reduce if you want to do all the math in the final step, which is actually what I recommend. Now write another proportion to convert minutes into hours. You know that 1 hour is equivalent to 60 minutes. Then how many hours is equivalent to 6 over 5 minutes? Solve for y and get your answer. As you can see, we got the exact same answer using this method. Finally, don't forget to memorize some of the other non-metric conversion rates such as feet to inches, ounce to pounds, and gallon to fluid ounces. What I mentioned here is probably enough because sometimes they give you the conversion factors or conversion rates in the problem itself if it's a rare unit, or gigantic units such as from miles to feet, etc. Okay, let's not relax quite yet because there are certain types of conversions in which many people make mistakes because the conversion is not that straightforward, especially when you convert units in 2 or 3 dimensions. I'll explain. For example, convert 2 square feet to square inches. Now, when I ask this problem in the class, I've seen many people be like, okay, feet to inches is 12 times, so 2 times 12 equals to 24 square inches, easy. Well, I wish it was that easy, my friend. Now, while 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, 1 square foot is 12 square inches in each direction. Sorry for the bad drawing, but as you can see, you can fit 12 times 12 equals to 144 square inches inside 1 square foot. Mathematically speaking, if you have 2 square feet, this is equivalent to 2 times the square of 1 foot, right? So when you convert from feet to inches, you'll also have to square the conversion factor. Watch. 2 times 12 inches squared. That's 2 times the square of 12 is 144 square inches. That's 288 square inches, which is the right answer. Now, sometimes in my classes, I will ask the students to guess the right answer before calculating. Now, for this question, the most common guesses that I get are 50 and 500. Some people even guess 5,000. And you'll be very surprised to hear that the correct answer is 1/5. That doesn't sound right at all. 200 liters equivalent to 1/5 meter cubed. Okay, look at my solution and please try to make sense of what I did, okay? It's very similar to the previous problem, so I think you can figure it out. Sorry for the crowded work, but feel free to take your time and go through every single step. I hope that you feel very confident converting from one unit to another after watching this video. Thank you for watching.